Welcome back. So with the financial imbalance between provincial funding to municipalities and the programs that those municipalities are trying to provide the services, we've often heard that the cultural aspects of municipalities are among the first things to suffer because they're not crucial. Would you agree?
That's correct.
And here in Parry Sound, and something that's been in the news lately is the Stockey Centre for Performing Arts. It must be frustrating to have this great groundswell of support, built a great facility, and 4 years later, there's water pouring into the building. Um, what what can you do to try and explain that issue to voters?
Well, I don't know if it'll be an explanation that's accepted by everyone, but what happened is there were some building deficiencies that were significant. They've been identified by the architect to be in excess of $300,000. And due to the large amount, we're not able to do it all in 1 year. So we have spread it over 3 years and tried to identify the most critical areas first, and that's obviously water coming into the building through windows and through the timber columns. And we certainly want to maintain the integrity of the building. In saying that, we're still pursuing the issue through the original architect, through the manager that we had working for us, and through the overall construction manager, Ellis Dawn, to try and get some reimbursement for these defects which were part of the building process.
And how optimistic do you feel about that pursuit for compensation?
I'm always optimistic. I think that it's just going to take time, but I don't think we can take the time to wait for that compensation to to not deliver on the repairs, because I think the integrity of the building is significant. And when you have a building that's worth that kind of money, the better part of $13 million, it behooves you to ensure that that its integrity is intact.
Now, no matter what you do, there's going to be critics. But critics, when it comes to the Stockey Centre, have argued that they live in Parry Sound and they don't use the place. So why are their tax dollars going towards it? But I guess there's some economic value that I want to ask you if you could explain that to residents who are concerned about where their money's going.
First of all, their concerns are very, very valid. Of all of the users that go into that building for performances, there's only about 900 or 1,000 from the town of Parry Sound that are repeat users. The balance of the people don't use it. The vast majority of the people that use the Stockey Centre are the folks from out of town, particularly the surrounding municipalities. And we need some assistance in terms of sustaining the operating costs. Now, there are certainly the board has been given some instruction from council, and I think that they have understand the tight financial situation that exists, and they're looking at ways of saving money and doing things to to help minimize the deficit. But I think it's going to take time. But on the flip side of that, having that facility, I know that there have been people from all over this province and from other provinces that have indicated that they wish they had that facility in their community. In saying that, certainly there's a real impact on the restaurants and the hotels and motels in town and the business sector at large, because people will come for a day or a longer period of time, and in particular in the summertime when the facility is extremely busy with the Festival of the Sound, which is a world-recognized event. People stay for more than a day or two.
I think some residents are waiting for the Stockey Centre to make a profit, but that's not the goal here, is it? The Stockey Centre is, in previous conversations we've talked about projections for the Stockey Centre, and there's a possibility that the town will always be supporting the centre to some extent. Is that correct?
I think that's the reality of it. The financial forecasts that were made 8 years ago, I guess, certainly were inaccurate. It indicated that the deficit would only be $80,000 over 5 years, and then after that there would be at a break-even point. But obviously that's not not going to happen. So I think with changes in programming and with some of the things that are happening, the deficit will be reduced, but and it's got to happen sooner than later. Because
and again, the economic advantages of having a center in terms of spin-off are what makes it worth investing municipal money in.
Yes.
The project is funded primarily by the town of Parry Sound, correct? The Stocky Center's operating budget.
Actually, the operating budget is, I don't have the numbers with me, but it's made up of a number of areas, like the revenues from ticket sales, the revenues from rentals, the revenues from those folks that go into the Bobby Orr component. There are grants available to them that they have taken advantage of, but in terms of their overall programming, there is a deficit in the town because we own a facility pick up that deficit.
The Stocky Center is a topic that our forums on parrysound.com see a lot of questions about, and we'll go and take a few questions from people on that forum in just a minute.